Hello everyone. The major purpose of this particular video is to talk about personality development. Now before moving towards personality development, we first of all need to understand what actually is a personality. A personality is something that defines you. A personality is something that talks about you. So we can say the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you dress up, it's all about your personality. Now each of us is blessed with a personality. However, over a period of time, we need to work on our personality because personality is something that can be developed, it can be modified, and it can also be altered. So how it can be done? Your personality has got three major components. The first one is communication. The second one is your body language. The third one is your dressing sense. Now each of this, take my words, each of these elements play a very important role in shaping your personality and at the same time defining you. The first one is communication. Communication is all about speaking. Communication is all about communicating your ideas. Communicating is all about sharing your thoughts. It sounds simple to speak, to communicate, right? But in reality, it's quite different. Because in order to speak, you need to have good amount of words. It means you need to have a perfect vocabulary. Second, in order to speak well, you need to have good content. Third, you need to speak sense. How you can do that, and that too with utmost confidence? See, it's quite easy. It's not rocket science. Because communication is innate in nature. You can speak well. All you need is a bit of polishing. So how you can speak well? Well, the first thing in this regard is that you need to give yourself a bit of time. Second, stand in front of a mirror. Give yourself a topic. Start speaking on that. On the very first day, you'll find out that you're not being able to speak for a long period of time. But wait, give yourself a bit of more time. It will increase. It will enhance after 2-3 days. And after 2-3 days, you will start seeing a difference. You will be able to speak more fluently. At the same time, you'll be more confident in terms of speaking. If you can speak in front of you, trust me, you can speak in front of others too. You need to come out of that shell. You need to push yourself out of that comfort zone that doesn't allow you to speak in front of yourself. Second thing, in order to have good vocabulary and good words, you need to read newspapers every day. Any English newspaper. You need to customize yourself with that particular newspaper. Try to jot down few words that are hard to identify meanings. Note them down and then try to use those words in your normal conversation. Third thing, you need to have good amount of content right here. Whenever you're speaking, give yourself a bit of time. Have some patience. Try to make sentences in your mind and then speak. Never hesitate in terms of speaking. However, you take your time. Don't make it a hasty process. Because the ultimate idea is to speak well. And that can only be done by giving yourself a bit of idea to frame nice sentences, to use nice words, at the same time use right pitch, right volume, right tone, and at the right time. It will help you, trust me. Now this particular video is going to talk about positive attitude. Positive attitude is something that is going to help you in your personal and professional life. It will bring a hope of optimism. At the same time, it will teach you how to deal with the negativity of life. Positive attitude is something that you need to develop on your own. Because attitude is something that can be developed. Attitude is something that can be modified. Attitude is something that can be altered. Now it depends on you, what kind of attitude you want to have. A positive attitude is going to bring umpteen moments of happiness for you. However, you need to practice. However, you need to tell yourself thousands of times that there is no word called negativity. Whatever is happening in your life, it's happening for a purpose, and you are good enough to deal with every possible situation, thwarting your progress in your personal and professional life. The moment you are having this optimism running inside your system, actually you can tell yourself that you're good enough to deal with all these situations. Now, this is your first step in convincing yourself towards formulating a positive attitude. Now, the next step is, in reality, when you are going to face situations that are going to put you in a zone that is very much negative in nature, in that particular moment, you need to talk to yourself. You need to talk to yourself saying that I can come out of this particular situation. How? Because this world is full of opportunities, and you are one optimistic person who can change negativity into positivity through your hard work, through your positive and successful belief, or turning failures into achievements. Have this attitude that you are good enough to deal with any challenging situation that is going to come in your personal and professional life. The moment you are developing this sort of an attitude, trust me, there'll be like few person who will be motivating you. At the same time, few people who will be discouraging you, saying that you are traveling in a zone that is going to risk your life because you are taking life way too easy. Now, understand one thing. As I told you in the previous video, that we are not here to think that what others are saying. We are here to work on ourselves. We are here to make a difference in our life. And that difference, how we can do is that we need to be surrounded by good and happy people. We need to be surrounded by positive people. We need to read positive quotes and inspirational stories. If you are making it a habit, reading all these things, trust me, it is going to impact. It is going to impact your life seriously. Refrain yourself from negativity. Embrace positivity. It will create a difference in your life. This video is going to talk about your body language. Again, it is a very important part of your personality. Before you come across anyone, then notice your two ways. First, when you open your mouth, when you try to communicate. Second, through your body language. Your body language is quite complex, to be honest. I'll tell you how. Because majority of the people, they are not very much sure that what to do with their hands, what to do with their legs. They are not very much sure about their shoulder positioning and everything else. They are very much confused. When you are sitting, it is quite easy because your legs, your body is quite hidden. But when you're standing, this is when the real problem starts. Now why? Because when you're standing, you don't know how to take care of your hands. Majority of people, they will try to put their hands in their pocket. However, at the same time, they will try to fidget with their mobile. Now this is a wrong body language. It's going to create a bad impression on others. How you're going to deal with this bad body language now? See, the first and the foremost rule in this regard is you need to be very much sure of your own body, because we are talking about body language here. The kind of language your body is going to speak depends on the kind of body you are having. At the same time, you need to accept your body the way it is. Have confidence in your body and tell yourself that whatever your body type is, you are very much confident in that. The moment you are giving yourself this much of feeling, trust me, you are on with this game that is called body language. Now, how you are going to rectify your body language? How you are going to make sure that you're using your hands quite frequently in order to communicate your message? It is quite easy. Trust me, it's not rocket science. It's very easy. Just make sure that you are using your hands in a coordinated manner. Don't use only one hand. Try to use both your hands. Whenever you are speaking, try to explain your thought process using your hands. Suppose you are saying, today I saw a big balloon outside my house. So you're saying big. So use your hands like this. You need to relate everything with your hand gesture. Always make sure that your legs are not shaking. Trust me, the moment you find yourself in a position where you see that your legs are not very much firm, tell yourself, okay, I belong to this place. Circle that place. Whenever you are standing, wherever you are standing, just tell yourself that this place is owned by me. The moment you are having this feeling that this place is owned by you, it will give you a bit of confidence. The moment you are having this much of confidence, your body language will be quite free. Don't understand, don't believe that, okay, people are going to judge me. Who are they to judge you? Even if someone is seeing you, judging you, it doesn't matter. Be confident in your walk. Be confident in whatever you are wearing. Be confident in communicating your message. Take your time. Don't speak in a rush. Take your time. Build your conversation in a very slow manner. Try to use your hands more frequently. You smile on your face all the time. This is the first and the foremost rule in terms of having a good personality. The moment you are having a good personality, everything becomes easy. Everything becomes easy. People find you more friendly. And they will think that, okay, this person is having a good personality. Next, if you're having good content, you're on. Next, if you're wearing nice clothes, your dressing sense is quite good, it is again going to create some sort of an impression on others. So always make sure that your hands are vocal, you're using nice words, your shoulders are firmly placed. Don't be like this, don't be like this, don't be like this. No, nothing. Just be confident. Tell yourself that you're confident in your body. It will help you. In today's video, we are going to talk about dressing sense. Dressing sense is an important part of your personality. Why? Because the way you look, it creates an impact on others. Now, there are certain rules regarding dressing sense. Now, what I'm going to cover is that I'm going to cover professional outlook. Whenever you're going for an interview, try to make sure that you are wearing dark colored trousers. At the same time, make sure that you are wearing light color shirts, solid colors. Don't try to go for check and prints. Go for solid colors shirts, like white shirt or a black shirt. However, when you're wearing trouser, try to make sure that the color of your trouser is quite dark. Contrast it quite well. Another thing, whenever you are going to meet someone, people are going to notice you by seeing your shoes first. Always make sure that you are investing good amount of money in buying good pair of shoes. Polish them well. Look good. Tug in your shirt. At the same time, wear iron clothes. Never wear clothes that have got wrinkles. It creates bad impression on others. Now talk about accessories, okay? For men, it is quite easy, to be honest. You carry one handkerchief, but try to make sure that you put it in your left pocket. Why I'm saying so? Because majority of the people, they are right-handed. Even if you're having a cup of tea or say having a glass of water, it becomes very easy to take your handkerchief out. So invest in good quality, solid color shirts. Wear solid dark color trousers. Pair them well. Wear nice belt. Wear polished shoes. Keep your handkerchief quite clean in your left pocket and wear your smile, because you dressed up well. That is one part. But you need to maintain a smile on your face so that your dressing is 100% complete. It will give you confidence, trust me. Good afternoon, friends. Now this is something that is very much interesting, and I personally like this subject. It is known as public speaking. Now public speaking is something that is very much interesting because it highlights you as a person, it shows your confidence, it shows your ability whether you can speak in front of others or not. Majority of the people are listeners, trust me. There are many few who are speakers and majority of people, they are listeners. Not many are confident enough to speak in front of hundreds of people, but they are very much comfortable in terms of listening to others. So now, what is public speaking? The moment you are speaking in front of the public, or the moment you are speaking in front of the masses, that is known as public speaking. Now, when speaking in front of people, the very common mistake that we all do is that we fear. The fear of speaking in front of the public. This is the basic thing that we need to overcome. Now, how you can overcome the fear of public speaking? They all say that if you want to see a change, then first of all you need to see a change within. It means in order to create a change, you need to change yourself first. If you want to see a clean city, then first of all you need to clean your house. Just like that, if you want to speak in front of the public, first of all you need to speak in front of you. You need to speak in front of your family. So this is something that you need to do. The moment you are successful in doing so, trust me, it all starts with a simple step. You remember baby steps? A baby starts to walk by taking baby steps. Just like that, you need to take baby steps in terms of acing the idea of speaking in front of the public. Now what you can do is that, first of all, follow simple rules. First thing, stand in front of the mirror. Relax yourself, relax your body, relax yourself and see how it goes. Give yourself a topic, start speaking, see whether you are being able to speak in front of you or not. If you are successful without stammering, if you are successful by maintaining a smile and a confident look on your face, then trust me, you are ready. Now all you need to do is that you need to speak that in front of your family members or maybe in front of your friends. Seek their advice, their suggestion, whether you were good, you were bad, how was your body language, whether you use nice sentences or not, how was your entire facial expressions and things like that. Have some feedback. The moment you are having feedback and the moment you are very much aware that you can speak in front of the public, actually you are taking a step forward. Now the next thing is that the moment you are getting an opportunity in terms of speaking in front of anyone, whether you are presenting your idea to your professor, whether you are doing something interesting in terms of proposing a business proposal, whatever it is, you need to be confident in your approach. Public speaking is all about how well you can speak. Public speaking is all about how well you can engage your audience. I'll give you again my example. When I started speaking, trust me, I was a bad speaker. Throughout my life, I used to stammer a lot. I got this stammering problem and I was not very much confident that whether I'll be able to speak or not. So there was this teacher who used to come at my place and she used to tell me that you can speak, and I was like laughing at her face and saying, I can speak, I cannot speak because I cannot speak in front of you. So how can I speak in front of hundreds of people? So later I joined some classes. It was some personality development stuff. I joined those classes and in front of 10 people, I still remember, I was asked to speak on a research topic, maybe something related to, I remember, entertainment industry. So I just stood there and my legs were like shaking, my hands were not in my control, my facial expression just was weird and I was not knowing what to do. And I started speaking, but I was not being able to speak a sentence. And I just thought that might be some sort of confidence issue with me, and I cannot speak. So I just bent my head down and I just walked away. That day I just told myself that there were like 9 other people and they were successful in speaking. So why can't I? I just asked myself one simple question, that if 9 of them can speak, then why can't I? I challenged myself that I need to speak. So I stood in front of the mirror. I started speaking. I made it a practice that I'll speak every day. I'll speak every day. And till then, I've been speaking. Trust me. I speak in front of my friends. I speak a lot in front of my family members. They all are very much irritated that why you speak so much. The thing is, more you will speak, more you will gain confidence in terms of speaking in front of others. Have this perspective that public speaking is not a fear. Public speaking is an opportunity to express your views, your opinions, your ideas, your perspectives, your beliefs, and your ideologies to the world. It is all about how confident you are in terms of convincing others to accept your ideas, to buy your thoughts. It is an opportunity. Use that by being confident, by being honest to yourself, by entertaining, by engaging others, and by using a language that is not only lucid but interesting and impactful. If you're doing all these things, trust me, public speaking is never going to be a fear. It will always be a welcome opportunity for you in terms of expressing yourself as an individual. You can speak. So start speaking. Public speaking is never a fear. Hello friends, the biggest problem in this world, क्या कहेंगे लोग, सबसे बड़ा रोग. Majority of us, we get impacted. We get influenced by what others are thinking. This is called peer pressure. When we put ourselves in a pressure situation, thinking what others are thinking about us. Now the big question is, if you're allowing others to think about you and then taking decisions that they are going to please them, it's a bad strategy. Trust me, it's a bad strategy. Now how can you do that? How can you ignore that peer pressure? Because peer pressure is something that is going to be omnipresent. It is going to be with you all your life. Because people are going to expect from you. How to deal with that now? The first thing, forget who people are. It doesn't matter, to be honest. Whomsoever you are dealing with, apart from your family, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, when you are going to be successful or when you're going to be a failure, no one is going to be there in order to help you out. Those people who are pressurizing you will no longer be there. In order to deal with this peer pressure, always have some goals in your mind. And in order to pursue those goals, you need to make sure that you face all hurdles, you face all challenges, you snub all those people who are going to influence you in a very negative manner. How you can do that? By just telling yourself that I'm not going to be pressurized by these people. First thing. Second thing, I'm not here to please people. Third thing, whatever these people are thinking about me, it doesn't matter because I don't want to be like them. I don't want to become someone that I don't want to become. I want to become what I am feeling about myself, where I want to see myself in coming years. I don't want to see myself in a position that is desired by others. I don't want to be someone who can be dictated by others in terms of what they want me to be in the present as well as in the future. Now, there are simple things that we are going to do in this regard. The first thing is, always try to have some priority in your life. Your family, few close friends, that is like a close-knit group that is going to be there all your life. Now, the moment you are allowing too many people in that particular circle or in that particular group, you are actually pressurizing yourself too much. Why so? Because you are actually allowing too many people to have expectations from you. Have few people in your life, have few good and positive people in your life who have got little expectations from you, because a bit of expectations will always be there. In terms of dealing with peer pressure, don't believe that your friends are doing well because they have got extra knowledge. Your friends are doing well because they have got more sources and resources. All these things are going to put you in a zone that is going to be very much surrounded by negativity. In order to deal with all these things, I'm going to give you one particular solution. Try to use that, it will be very helpful. The first thing that you can do is that, because we are living in a world that is surrounded by social media tools and all those gadgets and everything, try to get rid of them. Don't use any social media tools like Facebook, Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever it is. Don't use them. Don't get influenced by what others are doing, where your friends are visiting some 5-star hotels, whether your friends are eating some nice food, whether your friends are shopping in a very nice expensive mall. Don't just bother about all these things. Just focus on yourself for one particular week. Just formulate your goals. Just make sure that you are surrounded by people who are motivating you. Don't put yourself in a situation that is going to pressurize you in the long run. Don't believe that what others are thinking is going to be very much beneficial for you. Act as per your wish, but have one thing in your mind, that whatever you are thinking, whatever you are believing, you need to make sure that you are going to reach somewhere. You need to be successful. You need to be successful on your own terms rather than being pressurized by others. Don't live with peer pressure. Don't live with it. Live with yourself. Live with your family. Live with your close friends. Forget these social media tools for say 1 week or 1 month. You will see a difference, trust me. You will see a difference because you will be able to spend more time with yourself. You will not having any time in order to see that what your friends are doing, where they are visiting, what they are buying, what they are eating, whether they have got good marks in this particular exam or that particular thing. No, nothing. You'll be just focusing on yourself, away from all peer pressure and just concentrating on yourself. Do it, see the difference, and then let me know. Good morning, friends. In previous video we discussed about communication. It plays a very important role in terms of defining your personality. In this particular video, we are going to talk about physical communication. Now, we discussed earlier that there are two kinds of communication. The first one is verbal communication and the second one is non-verbal communication. Now, this physical communication is a part of non-verbal communication. What exactly this is? The way you communicate, but you're not using your words, you're using your body language, you are using gestures. This is how you are going to communicate to others. This is known as non-verbal communication, also known as physical communication. Now, in order to understand that how this particular communication happens, I'm going to give you a very small example. So, here's Mr. Bharat and I'm going to ask him few questions. Mr. Bharat, how was your day? How are you feeling today? Would you like to have some tea or coffee? Okay, thank you. So, we just saw that Mr. Bharat was very much apprehensive in terms of communicating his ideas. We asked him 3 basic questions and he replied with a nod for every question. For every question that I asked, he replied with a nod. So now this is something that we need to get rid of, because for every question there needs to be a different gesture. Suppose someone is asking you that how was your day? You can do just like this. So it means that your day was quite good, but you have to maintain a smile on your face along with gesturing. So how it is going to help you? It is going to communicate your message. It is going to communicate your feelings and emotions to others. This is how we are going to communicate in terms of expressing ourselves. Now again, I'll give you a very brief or small example regarding your body language, the way it speaks. Many a times we come across people asking us to sit on a chair. It's like a common thing, we sit like this. But the moment people are asking us any question, we do like this. So it's kind of a negative language where our legs are shaking a bit, our hands are like this, sweaty palms, and then we are not being able to understand how to sit, how to relax our body. All these are part of your physical communication. The way your body language is delivering a message to others. It all comes under non-verbal communication. Now it creates an impact on others. Suppose you are shaking your leg like this. Suppose you are moving your hands like this. Suppose you are not maintaining an eye contact. It's a negative sign of body language. We need to get rid of this. The moment we are getting rid of this particular problem, we can master the art of communicating in a very good and impressive manner. Hello friends, in this video we are going to talk about written communication. In previous video we have talked about communication. Now written communication is something that you write using words. Now the major purpose of this particular video is to highlight the importance of written communication. We are going to divide this particular video into 3 segments. The first segment is defining written communication. The second segment talks about problems related to written communication. And the third segment talks about the solutions. We already know that what actually is written communication. Now, the major problems in written communications are mainly in the form of using right words, using accurate grammar. The third one is how you're going to structure your sentences. Majority of us, we are not very much aware of using right words while writing a communication. At the same time, in terms of grammatical error, mistakes and all those things, you take care of these things. The third one is how to structure your sentence. You need to structure your sentence in a way that is going to be very much impactful. Now, in terms of solutions, I'll tell you the biggest problem that everyone is facing nowadays is related to SMS and using WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp and SMSs has actually deteriorated your English written communication. I'll give an example. I'll give you a personal example of mine. When I was very much into this SMS and WhatsApp thing, I used to write in a very absurd manner. You can say that I was writing in very short form. So for words like say going, I was writing GNG. For words like coming, I was writing CMNG. For words like okay, I was writing only K. So writing like this actually deteriorated my writing. It affected my writing skills. In order to get rid of this particular problem, what you are supposed to do now? The first thing that you can do is that you need to build your vocabulary. For every word you are writing, you need to have an alternative for that. The second thing that you need to work on is your grammar. Make sure that your grammar is correct. The third thing that you need to take care of is your sentence structuring thing. You need to structure your sentence in a very powerful manner. Now, in order to practice all of these things, what actually you can do? You can actually follow how orators are speaking on news channel. It will help you a lot. At the same time, you can make it a habit of writing on Quora. It is quite easy. You just need to have an account on Quora and you can start writing. It will help you. I'm on Quora. I write on regular basis and it actually helps because Quora has got so many writers, so many good writers who are writing in a very efficient manner. So you can follow all of them. Following all these things will actually help you in your writing. Keep writing and keep improving. Thank you. Good morning, friends. In this particular video, we are going to talk about how to improve your vocabulary. Now, vocabulary is something that you need to build on because it plays a very important role in shaping your communication. The way you speak is made up of your vocabulary. Now, how you master the art of having a nice and effective vocabulary. So this is something that you need to master and it can be mastered over a period of time. So how you can do that? Well, the first thing that you can do in this regard is you need to read newspapers, English newspapers every day. The moment you are reading English newspapers, it means that you will come across certain words whose meanings are quite hard. The moment you are identifying the meaning of those words by writing them down and identifying the true meaning, will be helping your vocabulary to build a lot. The second thing that you can do is that you need to watch a lot of English news channels. The moment you are doing so, again you are building your vocabulary because you will come across certain words that are hard to comprehend. You just need to write down those words, identify the meaning of those words and use those words in your daily life. Third thing, you need to identify few people in your locality, in your family, or you need to come up with few friends with whom you can use or share these words. You need to interact with them on daily basis in order to use these words. The moment you are doing so, you'll be gaining a bit of confidence in the due process. This particular confidence will give you a boost to use these words. So the basic idea is to come across new words every day. Jot down few new words every day. Try to use those words in your daily communication. At the same time, come across different kinds of ways through which you can communicate these words to others. Write stories, write short paragraphs, write anything that you come across. The bottom line is you need to use words on daily basis. This will help you in making effective vocabulary that will help you in communication. Thank you. Hello friends. In this video we are going to talk about effective resume. Now we all study with a hope that someday we are going to get a good job. And how we are going to get a good job? We are going to get a good job by having a good CV. That is also known as curriculum vitae or your resume. Now your resume plays a very important role in giving you a very good job. Your resume is something that talks about yourself. Your resume is something that defines you. And your resume is something that needs to be very much polished, just like you. Now your resume has got 4 important aspects. Now the first aspect of your resume is your headline. In terms of your headline, it talks about yourself. Suppose if you are a management graduate, you need to highlight that in your headline. management professional looking for a job in this particular field. It is followed by your educational experience. It means that you need to jot down all your educational qualifications. Starting from the recent one, if you're doing your master's, highlight that first, followed by your bachelor's, followed by your class 12, followed by your class 10. And at the same time, you also need to make sure that you're not using percentage for your educational qualifications. This should be followed by your professional experiences. Whatever experiences you have, you need to jot down everything. You need to start from the recent one. If you are working for a company, currently you need to highlight that first. After putting down all your professional experiences, you need to highlight your personal information. Now your personal information is related to yourself. It means your phone number, your contact number and your email ID along with your date of birth. That's it. Once you have included all those things, you need to make sure that you are very much illustrative in terms of defining them. Make sure that you are highlighting your professional experiences in detail. It means you need to jot down, you need to write down all important responsibilities that you have undertaken while working. It will help your potential recruiter to identify your job responsibilities. It will also give them an idea that what sort of work responsibilities you have handled in the past. Your resume should be very much clean. It should be having similar font. At the same time, it should follow a structure that should look professional. And I will tell you a basic truth that how these recruiters are going to identify your CVs. The moment you are putting your CV in any job portal, suppose Naukri.com or Monster.com, just by putting your CV on those job portals is not going to fetch you a job. Reason? Your recruiters are going to use some keywords. If your resume is not having those keywords, there is high possibility that your CV is not going to be very much interested for them. In order to do this, you need to have some keywords in your resume. The moment you are having a good CV, just make sure that you follow it up with a good cover letter. Now this thing about cover letter we are going to talk in the next video. Till then, work on your resume. Thank you. Hi friends. In the previous video we talked about your resume, effective resume. Now in this particular video we are going to talk about your cover letter. Now what actually is your cover letter? Your cover letter is something that covers your resume. Now I'll tell you a basic truth. Majority of the CVs and majority of the cover letters, they look similar. If you think I'm wrong, you can refer to the CV of your friends. You can refer to any cover letter. Majority of the cover letters, they are cut, copy and pasted, to be honest. Now, what actually is a cover letter and what it should include? Your cover letter, as I told you before, should cover your resume. So whatever has been written in your resume should not be covered by your cover letter. Your cover letter should include information that is not only interesting but also different and appealing to recruiters. I'll give you a basic example. It's all about how you're going to make your cover letter interesting. Now you can write, suppose if you are applying for a post of say data mining or data engineer or data scientist. So what you can do is that you can just mention that if loving data is wrong, I would never want to be right. And I believe that this XYZ company also believes in this. So this is something that is quite interesting. It will make that recruiter a bit laugh. So this is something that you need to do. At the same time, suppose if you're applying for a consulting job, you want to be a consultant. So you can just write that whole my life I have been giving advices for free. And now I think that is the right time to get paid for it. So this is something that is quite different. So what I'm trying to say here is that you need to be different in your cover letter. You need to be very much interesting. At the same time, be professional. Use words that are quite impactful. At the same time, your sentences should be very much crisp and short. It will create an impact on your recruiters. And try to write a cover letter on your own rather than just copying and pasting from someone else. It will give you a good boost, trust me. Thank you. Good afternoon friends. We all are aware of the importance of a resume. However, there are certain do's and don'ts when it comes to resume. When you talk about resume, your resume is something that is going to offer plethora of information regarding yourself in terms of what you want to achieve, what you have done in the past, and what you want to do in your future. So it means there are certain things that you need to include in your resume. At the same time, there are certain things that you're not supposed to include in your resume. Now, when you are writing a resume, first of all, you need to make sure that it has an accurate and impactful headline. Suppose if you're doing engineering, so you need to write that engineering professional seeking management profile. If you're a management professional, then you need to write management professional seeking this particular profile. So it will offer a good sort of an idea to your recruiter that this is what actually you want to do. Now, coming towards what you need to include. You need to include all your basic information, starting from your educational qualifications, your professional qualifications, at the same time, whatever successful things you have done, whatever course, extracurricular activities that you have been engaged in, you need to write everything about that. Now, what you don't need to write, you don't need to write too many sentences in your resume. Your resume should not be of 4 or 5 pages. It should be something that should talk about you. It should be something that should offer a good amount of idea to your potential recruiter that this is what this person is all about. You must be aware that after posting your resume or after giving your resume to any recruiter, they are going to ask you one simple question. Tell me something that is not in your resume. Now, this is something that is quite tricky because you're not supposed to write everything in your resume. So in terms of don'ts, please don't include unnecessary information like from where you have done your schooling, which school, which city, which district. You're not supposed to write all those information. You just need to write class 10, your marks, that's it. In terms of your professional qualification, whatever you have achieved till now, you need to write it down. You are not supposed to explain it in details that I was engaged in this particular job, I joined this company at this particular date, nothing of that sort. Keep it very simple. Explain to the point. Explain with accuracy. At the same time, try to use short sentences. Sentences that are good enough to explain about your profile. If you are going to include all these things, your resume is going to be quite impactful, but make sure that it is short, precise, and to the point. Never make it lengthy, never make it cluttered. Use fonts that are consistent throughout. If you're using, say, Times New Roman, use it throughout. Don't use too many fonts, don't use different kinds of colors and all those things. Keep it quite simple. Then it would be a great resume. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We all must have come across certain things that is quite common. And one of those common things is writing an email to your potential recruiter. While writing an email to your potential recruiter, we all tend to copy and paste from the internet. So that's the most safest route that we all take. So what we do is that we just write how to write a cover letter. Whatever we get, we just copy it, we just paste it, and we just send it. Very wrong way. If you all are doing so, it is one of the most wrong ways that you can do. Now, the first thing that you need to work on is that in order to write an email to your potential recruiter, you first of all need to understand that why you are writing that email. If the purpose of writing an email is to ask for a certain job, then write it accordingly. But if you are writing a cover letter along with your resume, then it has to be quite different from what you have been writing all through your life. First of all, you need to maintain a professional language throughout your writing. We need to start with a perfect salutation in the form of Mr., Miss, Mrs., whatever it is. Your mail should be professional enough. Like, I'll give you an example. A few days back, I received one mail from one of my potential employees, you can say, and he wrote that I want to work for you because I don't have any work. So while reading this particular subject, I was like very much impressed in terms of his honesty, because he clearly stated that he was looking to work for me because he didn't have any sort of work. So it was very much clear in terms of what he actually to communicate. So this is something that we need to understand, that we need to be short and simple. We need to communicate in a very efficient manner. At the same time, we need to be very much interesting. Suppose we are just copying and pasting things, then no one is going to be very much interested in reading your mails. So what you can do is that, suppose if you are applying for a sales and development job, so you can write that being a passionate sales guy, I wish to work for your company because it has been my dream to work for a startup. If it's a startup company, if it's a brand company, if the company is very much reputed, if the company is well known, then you can write that it has been my dream to work for you guys, and while getting this opportunity I feel blessed in order to be in touch with you. So something that should give a message that you are really keen in order to work for these guys. At the same time, something very interesting, not the general thing that we come across on the internet. It should be very much interesting. It should be something that should create an impression that you are really willing to have some sort of interest in order to get that job. If you are doing so, you are doing it right. Thank you. Good afternoon, friends. In this video, we are going to talk about how to ace a GD. A GD, as we all know, is group discussion. It is something that is very much synonymous to the fish market. It's a chaotic situation out there where too many people are trying to prove their point, where too many people are very much busy in terms of proving that they are the only one who have got valid points. At the same time, there are too many people who are trying to prove you wrong. So it is going to be a very disturbing, or you might say a chaotic situation if you are trying to ace a GD. But we have to do that. If you are going to participate in any sort of interview, then first of all you need to participate in the group discussion. So while participating in the group discussion, at the same time acing it, you need to make sure of certain things. First of all, whatever topic has been given to you, you need to be sure that you know about it. If you're trying to be smart, and if you're trying to communicate something that is not known to you, then you might be a failure there, to be honest. So what you can do is that, first of all, if you don't have a clear idea whether you want to start or take an initiative, you just need to calm down. You give chance to others. Just wait for some time. Let others speak. And whenever you get a chance, try to speak. The first and the foremost rule of group discussion is who is going to take an initiative. The person who takes the initiative initially is regarded as someone who has got leadership qualities. So if you are participating in any GD, and if you get any easy research or any topic, then my suggestion is you should start instantly. Have some valid points, prove your points, then allow others. You need to take others with you. It means that you are giving equal opportunity to others in terms of speaking, rather than speaking everything on your own, because that is bad etiquette in terms of GD. So in order to ace this particular GD that you're participating or would be participating, my suggestion is, first of all, listen to the topic carefully. Start in a very convincing and honest manner. Don't try to bluff. Give equal chance to everyone. Support the ideas of others. If you feel that you don't feel like supporting the ideas of others, have valid points, have valid rebuttals, contradict them, but use examples if you want to pass a GD in a very effective manner. There can be many topics that you will come across. So be prepared to come across any random subject, any random topic. The idea is to be honest. Make sure that you have a good body language, because people who are out there observing you, they'll be observing your body language, how you're speaking, what is your tone, whether you're making eye contact with others or not. There are many things that they are going to count in terms of assessing your overall performance in the GD. So make sure that you are having a good body language, you are honest, and you're confident in your body language. You have a nice approach towards the research topic. You have got a compassionate approach towards others. It means you are giving equal chance to everyone in terms of speaking. The moment you are doing all these things, trust me, you will be noticed. The moment you are getting noticed, it means that they are going to judge you. They are going to give you some points based on your body language, your confidence, how you have dressed up, what was your content, how was your English, your grammatical errors, and everything will be judged. So first thing, get noticed. Second things, be honest and transparent in your approach. Third thing, have a smile on your face. It will make you look interesting. Do all these things, I'm very much sure that you can ace any GD. Good afternoon, friends. See, GD is all about having different topics. GD is quite interesting. You might come across a topic that you're not aware of, and then you need to ace that GD in order to go through further rounds. So how you are going to tackle complex subjects, complex topics? See, there's a thumb rule for this. First of all, if you're not aware of the research topic, or you can say any topic, suppose your recruiters are giving you a topic related to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is something that is very much in rage nowadays, and you're not aware of that particular subject. So what you can do is that first of all, you need to give yourself a bit of time. Don't panic. Be calm and be composed. Tell yourself that you're not aware of the research topic. However, you can learn from others. So in this particular situation, what you can do is that you can just listen to others. People who are sitting beside you, people whom you can look at in front of you. Give them a bit of time in terms of speaking. Assess and analyze what they are speaking. Suppose one, two, or maybe three people have spoken on cryptocurrency. That was your topic. Now you need to form some sort of sentences, ideas in your mind. Prepare 3-4 sentences in your mind and come across something that is going to be very much nicely structured in order to create an impact on others. Now start speaking. The thumb rule is you need to speak even if you're not aware of the topic, but you need to speak by listening to others. Whatever knowledge you have garnered, you need to showcase that now. Whatever sentences you're speaking, be confident in terms of highlighting your ideas. Once you are doing so, even though you're not aware of the topic, you'll be able to create an impression. I'll give you my example. When I was sitting for the very first GD of my life, I was very much nervous. My hands were like shaking, my legs were shaking, and I was not sure that how to ace this GD because that was my first GD. And I still remember that the topic given to us was related to politics, and I was not very much interested into politics and all those things. So I told myself that you are gone because the kind of topic they have given, you don't have any idea regarding that. So what are you going to do? So what I did was quite simple. I just listened to others. Whatever they were speaking, I just listened to them. I made 2-3 sentences in my mind based on what they spoke. So it was their words, it was like their sentences. I just spoke that in a very different sentence using some nice words and having a smile on my face and sounding quite confident and honest in my approach. So this is what I did, and after completing my sentence, what I did was I asked others that if you would like to add something, then you can add, because I think that you should, because you're not spoken. So I took one sort of an initiative that highlighted me as someone who was assessing others whether they are getting equal chance or opportunity in terms of speaking or not. So this is something that created an impression on them, and I was not very much sure, but I got selected. I got through next rounds. So this is something that you need to focus on. So hard topics, whether you're aware or not, you just need to listen others. It is very simple, very easy. Form few sentences in your mind and just come across some nice vocabulary. Just restructure your sentences a bit and then look into the eyes of others and speak like a master. I'm very much confident and sure once you are doing all these things, even complex topics will seem quite easy and you can ace any GD. Thank you. Good morning, friends. In this video, we are going to talk about etiquettes for interviews. Now, each of us have to face interviews at some point of time. Interviews can be quite challenging. At the same time, they can be very interesting. Now, the first and the foremost thing regarding interview is that how you're going to get inside the interview room. First of all, you need to knock the door and wait. Your interviewer is going to call you. The moment he is calling you, maintain a smile on your face and then enter. Wait for your turn. Don't sit on the chair. He will ask you to sit down. Then only you sit down. Next part is you need to be very much aware of one thing, that questions can be very interesting. At the same time, different questions can have multiple answers and interesting meanings. I'll give you an example. There was this interviewer who was interviewing so many candidates. So each of them was knocking on the door and the interviewer was saying, wait. So they all were waiting, but no one was getting inside. So there was a situation that was quite concerning and no one was able to understand that what actually is trying to say. So another candidate, he also knocked the door and the interviewer said, wait. He just said 65 kgs. And that brought a smile on the interviewer's face and he said, come in. So this is something that is out of the box. Out of the box thinking that is very much interesting. Now you are not going to get the similar situation. However, you need to be prepared in terms of having different answers for one particular question. It will help you in getting noticed. Now, third part is you need to be very much honest in your approach. When I talk about honesty, it means answering your questions in a very honest manner. Suppose your interview is asking you, but what are your salaries expectations? And you are saying 5 lakhs. He's saying you, justify it. How are you going to justify it? The very easy way that you can justify it in a very honest manner is just jot down all your expenses. Just highlight your expenses. That these are the expenses I'm going to pay. And after that, I also need to save some amount of money. So this will justify your salary expectations and it will also give a very honest feeling to your interviewer. Next part you need to take care of is how you are going to be confident in your entire approach. Now your interviewer might ask you different questions. Some of them will be quite challenging and some of them will be quite easy. Now one of the easiest questions that will ever come across is, do you have any questions for me? Grab this opportunity whenever you come across such questions. Ask your interviewer, is there anything on my CV that is concerning? Is there anything on my CV that is bothering you? I just want to know through your positive feedback so that I can work on myself. All these questions are actually very constructive. It will give a very positive vibe to your interviewer. Try all these techniques and I'm very much sure that you'll be able to do well in your interview. Prepare well. Thank you. Good morning, friends. In this video, we are going to talk about dressing for interviews. Now, dressing for interviews can be assumed as one of the most important part for preparation in terms of interviews. Now, dressing is an important aspect of your personality. How you are going to dress up for an interview. You need to follow some basic rules. Try to stick to the conventional approach that says you need to wear a light colored shirt, match it up with dark colored trousers. You also need to be clean shaven in order to have a good personality. You also need to keep one handkerchief in your right pocket so that you can use it easily from your right hand, because majority of us are right-handed people. Second thing, your dressing sense is the most important part of your personality. It shows confidence. Now, how it shows confidence, I am going to share this through my personal experience. When I was appearing for an interview for Accenture, I was very nicely dressed. I was wearing a white colored shirt. I was wearing a wrinkle-free trouser. At the same time, I was having a nicely polished shoes. I was clean shaven. I was looking quite good. So many people who were appearing for the interview, they were looking at me and they were thinking that, okay, maybe this guy is looking quite good. It instantly often offered me a sense of belief that I'm different from them. It offered me confidence prior to attending the interview. So this is what I'm trying to say, that you need to have some sort of confidence, and your dressing can actually give you a bit of confidence because it will make you feel that you are looking good. You are looking different from others. Now, why your dressing sense is quite important? You need to ask this question to you. because you're not opening your mouth in front of the interviewer, and your interviewer is going to notice you through your dressing sense. So your first impression is through your dressing sense. Whatever you are wearing, that will be getting noticed by your interviewer and people around you. So it can be termed as a non-verbal communication where you are actually expressing your personality. The moment you are nicely dressed, you will see that others are noticing you. It will give you a bit of confidence. And finally, whatever you are wearing, you need to be very much comfortable in that. Do not follow the advice of your friends. It means if your friends are saying that I am going to wear this, you're not supposed to wear that. Wear something that is suiting you, your color, your personality, your texture, your body, everything. Be confident in whatever you are wearing and leave an impression on your interview through your dressing, because you are communicating yourself, you are communicating your personality through your dressing sense. Thank you. Good morning, friends. In this video, we are going to talk about interview questions. Now, interview questions can be quite unpredictable because no one knows that what your interviewer is going to ask you. So you need to have a fair bit of idea that how you are going to answer all interview questions. Now, there are certain general questions that can be like this. Introduce yourself. This is the most common interview question that you will ever come across. Now, when you are asked such questions, you're not supposed to answer like this. My name is this, I studied in this school, I have been working with this particular company. No, nothing like that, because everything has been mentioned on your CV. Rather, you start like this. I'm an engineering graduate with a work experience of around these many years. These are my expertise, and this is why I want to work in this particular company. So there are like many general questions that will come across. We're not going to focus on that part because everyone is aware of that. We need to focus on critical and complex questions that your interviewer can ask you. Your interviewer can ask you, where would you like to see yourself in coming 5 years? Never answer that I would like to see myself in your position, because it is a negative response. Rather, you can say that I look forward to work with this company in coming 5 years and excel well. I'm pretty much sure that I'll do well in coming 5 years and I'll learn a lot in these 5 years. Suppose your interviewer is saying that we don't think that you are ideal for this particular job. We have this feeling. Take it very sportingly rather than taking it very, in a very offensive manner. You can always say that's quite good, because if you can tell me that what actually is wrong, then I can work on myself. I will rather see this as an opportunity to work on myself. So there are many critical questions that will come across. You need to answer them with a very positive and honest mindset. It will give a very good amount of confidence to your interviewer that actually you are very much honest and transparent in your approach. Now, you also need to understand one more thing, that while answering all your questions, you need to be very much confident. You need to be honest in your approach. Your interviewer can ask you multiple questions. He or she can ask you personal questions. He or she can ask you professional questions. He or she can ask you that why you are demanding so much of salary. What are your work expectations? We would like you to work on Sundays. So they will test your emotional intelligence. At the same time, they will test your stress level and how well you can handle your stress situations. So you need to be very much calm and composed in terms of answering all questions. Stick to the basics. And this is not your first interview, and this is not going to be your last interview. So stick to this particular basic and always get inside with a positive mindset. Never pressurize yourself. Never think too much about the interview. So there is one particular saying when it comes to preparation for interviews. It is, go with a blank mind. Never put pressure on yourself. Don't think too much that what is going to happen inside. Nothing like that. Be positive, be confident in your approach. Face interview questions as if your friend is asking you simple questions. Never lie in interview process, and be true to yourself, be true to the company. They can ask you any question. Now suppose one of the most interesting questions that companies are asking nowadays is that, tell me something that is not on your CV. Now this is some question that need to be handled in a very diplomatic, at the same time interesting manner. Now suppose you applied for any engineering company, say Accenture. You applied for Accenture and you have never worked for that company, and the company is asking you that tell me something that is not on your CV, you can always come with some interesting answer like this, that I Accenture, this name is not on my CV, but it will be. So this is something that will give a positive response to your interviewer. At the same time, it will make them feel that you are actually willing to work with the company. So just work on these aspects, be confident, and don't worry too much about interview questions, because if you are well prepared, if you know yourself, if you know your personality, then I'm pretty much sure that you're going to do well in your interview. Thank you. Good morning, friends. In this video, we are going to talk about how to handle nerves during interviews. Let's accept a reality that everyone gets nervous when it comes to interviews. Facing interviews can be a nightmare. You can make anyone and everyone nervous. Now we have to deal with this nervousness because it is very important. How are you going to do that? First of all, you need to prepare for your interviews in advance. You need to have some mock interviews with your friends. One more tip. You need to stand in front of the mirror. Just see your body language. If possible, shoot yourself with a good camera and see how you are performing. Whether your body language is quite nice, whether your hands or legs are shaking, whether you're quite confident in speaking, just analyze everything. This is something that you need to prepare on your own. Then seek help from your friends. Ask them to take interviews and try to be professional while answering questions. So this is something that will actually prepare you for interviews. Now the second part, how you are going to address the interview panel. You are not supposed to show anxiety or nervousness in front of the interview panel, because the moment they will understand and realize that you are nervous, they are going to bang on that. They will just see this as an opportunity in order to grill you. So never show the sign of nervousness to your interview panel. Rather, be confident in your approach. Listen to the questions quite carefully. Give yourself a bit of time before answering. So it will give you a bit of time in order to frame answers. Never be in a hurry. If you're not sure of any questions, always say, I'm sorry, I don't have any answer for this. But don't lie. Don't give vague answers. Don't give answers that don't make any sort of sense. Now, the third part is how you are going to be very much different in order to deal with this nervousness. You can do that by not putting pressure on yourself. I'll give you a very good example of one of my friends. So there was this company called Microsoft that was visiting the campus, and everyone was like very much interested in getting selected for this company. But this friend of mine, he was saying that I don't want to work for Microsoft. I want to work for Facebook. And he was least interested in joining Microsoft. So he was like very calm, composed, and he was aloof from others, thinking that okay, I don't want to work for this particular company. But he was willing to give interview for Microsoft. So when his turn came, he performed quite well because there was no pressure on him to perform, while others, they put great amount of pressure on themselves in order to get selected for Microsoft. On the other hand, my friend, he was saying I don't want to work for Microsoft, so he was under no pressure. So this is what we need to learn from this. We are not supposed to put pressure on ourselves. Rather, we need to be very much calm and composed, thinking this is not the end of the world. If this company is gone, there must be another company. And if there is no another company, then there must be few more companies. So this is the way we have to deal with the situation. We are not supposed to get nervous. We are not supposed to get anxious in terms of getting selected right then and there. No, nothing like that. Wait for your opportunity. Work on yourself. Learn from your mistakes, because the moment you're learning from your mistakes, actually you are working on your success, because you need to make mistakes. Then only you will realize that how better you can perform in the future. Don't get nervous, rather be confident. Know yourself, and I'm pretty much sure that you will perform well in interviews, along with handling anxiety and nervousness in a very calm and composed manner. Thank you. Good morning, friends. In this video, we will talk about art of negotiation during interviews. Now, negotiation is one of the most important aspects of any interview. Now, what actually you can negotiate on? You can negotiate on your salary, you can negotiate on your profile, you can negotiate on number of leaves. However, there are different criteria for freshers and for experienced people. Freshers, to be honest, they don't have much of negotiation in their hand. Why this? Because you don't have much of experience that you can put. At the same time, you need to learn. So you need to show eagerness in terms of learning first rather than negotiating all these factors. I'll give you a brief example. There are two people who applied for a similar job. Now the interviewer asked them, when can you join this company? The first one said, I can join immediately. Now the second one said, I need at least 15 days of time. And what do you think? Who was selected? The first one was selected. Why? Because he showed good amount of eagerness in order to join the company immediately. Well, the second one was saying that I'll take some time in order to join the company. So he was not very much eager. So this is something that went in favor of the first candidate. Now, when it comes to experienced people, they can actually negotiate. They can negotiate on the salary factor. Now suppose the standard industry criteria is 30% increase to your current salary. And if you can justify your negotiation in terms of saying that I want 40% increase or 50% increase, and if you can actually justify that, trust me, you can do well, because you need to negotiate well, but at the same time you need to justify it well. If you can justify it, you can negotiate well. Now there are certain situations where you need to behave in a very confident manner while negotiating with your interviewers. Why so? Because you need to be honest and transparent in your approach, and it goes for both freshers and experienced people. Now suppose for experienced people, if you're saying that I need a salary hike of 50%, and you are being able to justify that, but justify that in a very honest manner by saying, I also applied for XYZ company, that particular company is paying me this much of hike, and if you are willing to give me this much of hike, I'm very much interested to join this company because I see that learning potential in this company is quite high compared to that company. But at the same time, I also need to take care of my finances. I have taken good amount of loans. I need to pay my loan amount. I need to take care of my family. So finances are also important. So you need to be very much honest and transparent in your approach while negotiating. So it will give you a very positive vibe regarding you to the interviewer. For freshers, if you are seriously in some sort of concern that you are not being able to join, maybe say currently or maybe in near future, you can always communicate that by saying that, sir, I'm in this particular situation right now. I've got some family urgency. I've got some health issues. I'll be taking care of that within 10-15 days, and I'm very much interested in joining this company. So the art of negotiation is always revolving around honesty and transparency. You need to be very much confident, but at the same time, you need to be very much confident and honest in your approach. This will actually strengthen your negotiation power and skills.